I'm Bambi Francisco with this segment of Lessons from Entrepreneurs, and I'm speaking with Benjamin Wayne. He's the founder and CEO of Fliqz. This is his fourth startup that he's founded. Benjamin, give us 3 pieces of advice about entrepreneurship.
Sure. I think the first piece of advice is you never want to be technology in search of a market. It's very difficult. There's a principle that people think that if you build a better mousetrap, then you'll create a market around your service or technology. That's rarely the case. What we found is that in looking for a strong market need that's unfilled and then providing a product or service that fills that need, you're much more likely to be successful. So for example, in the case of Fliqz, as we look out at a market in which you have hundreds of thousands of sites who have a pent-up need for video without an existing solution, that creates a strong opportunity for a company to execute in that marketplace. The second thing I'd say is it's very difficult for startups to hire based on potential as opposed to experience. There's a lot of belief because many startups are run by entrepreneurs who are themselves having a business adventure for the first time, that they want to hire people like themselves. And so in a startup, typically you have 3 types of risk: market risk, technology risk, and execution risk. Execution risk really comes down to people, and so it's very dangerous to hire someone for a job that they haven't shown proficiency in doing before. And then the third thing I'd say is that startups typically can't afford to educate a market, and so you need to find a market with an established need for your product that understands that need and understands that pain point. Because if the need exists but it hasn't made it to the top 3 things that your target customers stay up at night worrying about, it's almost impossible for a startup on its resources to educate a market that type of need exists.
Excellent points. Now, share with us one experience, one setback, or one failure that's made you a better entrepreneur.
Sure. Well, I mean, some of this illustrates the points that I just talked about, especially in the case of Collabris, which was my former company. Collabris was the leader in retention marketing solutions for Fortune 500 companies, and we had customers like Estee Lauder, New York Life, Clorox, Johnson & Johnson. But what we found was that there wasn't a large enough market need that existed, that although we had the best customers in the marketplace, and although we had a large customer base, the need wasn't pronounced enough that you could make enough money to make it into a good venture-backed business. So even though it was a profitable company, we ended up basically selling the company off because there wasn't enough market opportunity to really turn it into a venture-backed opportunity.
Product before its time.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Benjamin Wayne, the founder and CEO of Fliqz. I'm Bambi Francisco.